Okay, here we go. 2 more myths to knock down. One is the unscientific myth. This claim that, well, Christianity can't be true, it's not scientific. It's this idea that only things that can be scientifically proven can actually be known to be true. Well, that's just silly. There's all kinds of things that we know and that we can learn, that we can study, and we can be confident of that you cannot study scientifically, like history. See, science deals with measurements and observability and repeatability of experiments, whereas history involves a piecing together of different bits of evidence, such as oral evidence or written evidence or even the physical evidence. So take, for instance, the resurrection. People will say, Jesus cannot have risen from the dead because scientifically that's impossible. Well, okay, but look at the evidence. We see an empty tomb. That is not up for debate. The tomb was empty. If it wasn't empty, the critics at the time could have produced a body. But instead, they're trying to make excuses for why the body's gone. Why is it gone? Because the tomb's empty. That's some actual evidence that we have. Jesus was dead, he was buried, then the body's gone. We have 4 accounts saying that Jesus rose from the dead. We have written testimony, written evidence. We have eyewitness evidence. Paul in 1 Corinthians actually tells the Corinthians that if they want to verify about the resurrection, go ask someone, because people who have seen Jesus are still alive today. Not today, back then, today. But the point is that these are not just some made-up legendary events. These things actually happen within a historical context where there is evidence verifying what happened, and we would expect to find evidence denying it, but it doesn't, because it actually happened. And so historically, you can examine the resurrection. Scientifically, science can't touch it. Science got nothing to do with it. And so we have reason to believe that actually happened, when science can't even address the issue at all. Scientific myth, there's a lot more we can know besides what science can test. But the second myth, this idea that as long as you believe something, there's this idea out there that says as long as you're sincere, it doesn't matter what you believe, as long as you personally find meaning and satisfaction in it. And that's just, I mean, I guess if you just want that shallow feeling, but wouldn't you rather believe what's true? But see, in 1 Corinthians 15, Paul tells the Corinthians, this all is based on the resurrection. If the resurrection did not happen, he says, we are to be pitied the most among men. You are still lost in your sins, and your faith is meaningless, and we are all just a bunch of false teachers. If the resurrection did not happen. Christianity is not a system of morals and good way to live your life. It is an actual events rooted in actual history. And if these things did not happen, and you're walking around calling yourself a Christian, you are lost with a useless and futile faith, because it's all a lie. But it's not. These things actually happen. And so, does it matter what you believe as long as you believe something? No. The truth is that the important thing is not just that you believe, but that what you believe is true. And in the case of Christianity, it's true.